Hello, everyone. It's Frank, and we're navigating the rules for your Louisiana chauffeur's license. As a chauffeur, you'll be responsible for the safety and comfort of your passengers, which means knowing Louisiana's driving laws inside and out. Let's get into it. According to Louisiana law, how far must you park from a fire hydrant? 15 feet. This ensures emergency services have clear access to hydrants. So, what's next? What is the maximum speed limit in a municipal or residential district in Louisiana unless otherwise posted? 25 miles per hour. Always adhere to lower speed limits in populated areas for safety. Next on our list, when driving a vehicle for hire, what is your primary responsibility? The safety and comfort of your passengers. Your passengers' well being is your top priority. Okay, what's after this? What must you do if you are involved in an accident in Louisiana that results in injury, death, or property damage over $500? Submit a written report to the state police. Louisiana law requires reporting serious accidents. Let's move on. What should a chauffeur do regarding their vehicle's maintenance? Perform daily pre-trip inspections and ensure regular maintenance. A well-maintained vehicle is essential for reliability and passenger safety. What about this next one? In Louisiana, how many feet must you stop from the nearest rail of a railroad crossing when a train is approaching? At least 15 feet, but not more than 50 feet. This is a critical safety distance to prevent collisions with trains. On to the next question. What is the general rule for following distance in Louisiana? Allow at least 1 second of following distance for every 10 feet of vehicle length. This provides sufficient time to react and stop safely. Moving forward, what is hydroplaning and how should a chauffeur react to it? When tires lose contact with the road due to water, ease off the accelerator and do not brake suddenly. Regain traction by reducing speed smoothly without abrupt braking. Let's consider the next one. When transporting passengers, what should you do about climate control in the vehicle? Ensure the temperature is comfortable for all passengers. Passenger comfort contributes to a pleasant experience. And the next point, if you are transporting hazardous materials that do not require placards, what must you still carry? Proper shipping papers. Even small quantities of hazardous materials require documentation. What's next? What is the legal BAC, blood alcohol concentration limit for a driver operating a motor vehicle in Louisiana? 0.08%. Driving under the influence is a serious offense. Moving on to this. What is the specific Louisiana law regarding handheld cell phone use for drivers? Texting while driving is illegal. Handheld cell phone use may also be restricted depending on local ordinances. Louisiana has a statewide ban on texting, and some parishes' cities ban handheld use. All right, let's see. What should a chauffeur do if a passenger becomes disruptive? Pull over safely and address the situation calmly and professionally. Prioritize safety for all occupants and try to de escalate the situation. What's after this? How often must commercial vehicles registered in Louisiana be inspected, if applicable? Annually. Regular inspections ensure vehicles meet safety standards. Next question. What does a solid yellow line on your side of the center line indicate? Passing is not permitted from your lane. Do not cross a solid yellow line on your side to pass. Let's get to this one. What does a broken yellow line on a two-lane road mean? Passing is permitted for traffic moving in either direction when safe. You can cross a broken yellow line to pass if the way is clear. Okay, what's next? When driving in heavy rain or fog, what lights should you use? Low beam headlights. High beams can reflect off rain fog and reduce visibility. Moving on. What is the maximum legal speed limit on rural interstate highways in Louisiana unless otherwise posted? 70 miles per hour. Always observe posted speed limits, which can vary. So, what's next? What must a chauffeur do if their vehicle breaks down on the highway? Move the vehicle off the road, turn on hazard lights, and set out warning devices if required for vehicle type. Safety first when dealing with a breakdown. Next on our list, what is the purpose of checking your vehicle's fluid levels, oil, coolant, brake fluid during a pre-trip inspection? To prevent engine damage and ensure safe operation. Proper fluid levels are essential for vehicle health and reliability. Okay, what's after this? What is the legal requirement for vehicle headlights during adverse weather conditions in Louisiana? Headlights must be used when visibility is less than 500 feet or during rain, snow, or fog. This improves your visibility to other drivers and helps you see. Let's move on. When approaching an emergency vehicle with flashing lights on the side of the road, what should a chauffeur do in Louisiana? Move over to an adjacent lane if safe, or slow down and be prepared to stop. This is Louisiana's move over law to protect emergency personnel. What about this next one? What is the most important defensive driving technique for a chauffeur? Always be prepared for the unexpected actions of other drivers. Anticipation is key to avoiding accidents. On to the next question. What is the consequence of driving a motor vehicle with a suspended or revoked Louisiana driver's license? Significant fines, potential imprisonment, and further license suspension. Operating a vehicle with a suspended, revoked license carries severe penalties. Moving forward, what is the purpose of the Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Corrections, LPSC, in driver licensing? To administer driver's tests and issue licenses, ensuring drivers meet state safety standards. The LPSC, specifically the OMV, regulates driver licensing. Let's consider the next one. When a chauffeur is making a right turn, what is the best technique to avoid hitting the curb or swinging wide into other lanes? Stay as far to the right as possible without hitting the curb and turn carefully. Proper positioning prevents encroachment into other lanes or damage. And the next point, what should you do if your turn signals are not working? Use hand signals if visible, or pull over and fix them. Broken signals are a safety hazard. Communicate your intentions. What's next? What kind of medical conditions must be reported to the Louisiana OMV if you hold a chauffeur's license? Any condition that could impair your ability to drive safely. This includes conditions affecting vision, judgment, or physical control. Moving on to this. What is the purpose of space management for a chauffeur? To maintain adequate space around your vehicle to react to hazards. A buffer zone provides time and room for safe maneuvers. All right, let's see. What does a red X above a traffic lane indicate? The lane is closed to traffic in your direction. Do not enter a lane marked with a red X. What's after this? What is the most important thing to check about your tires before driving? Inflation pressure and tread depth. Properly inflated tires with good tread are crucial for safety and handling. Next question. What is the proper way to use your vehicle's horn to warn other drivers of danger? The horn is a safety device, not for expressing frustration. Let's get to this one. How far must you stop from a school bus in Louisiana when its red lights are flashing and stop arm is extended? At least 30 feet. This provides a safe distance for children to board and exit the bus. Okay, what's next? When are you allowed to make a U-turn in Louisiana? Only where permitted by signs and when safe, and never in a business district unless permitted. U-turns are often restricted due to safety concerns. Moving on. What does a green light indicate at an intersection? You may proceed if the intersection is clear and it is safe to do so. Always ensure the intersection is clear before proceeding. So, what's next? What is the primary function of mirrors on a vehicle for hire? To monitor traffic around the vehicle and ensure passenger safety. Mirrors help you maintain awareness of your surroundings. Next on our list, what is defensive driving? Driving in a way that uses safe strategies to anticipate and avoid hazards. It's about anticipating and reacting to potential dangers. Okay, what's after this? What is the penalty for not having a valid chauffeur's license when required in Louisiana? Can result in fines, vehicle impoundment, and legal penalties. Operating without the proper license is a serious offense. Let's move on. What is the primary purpose of seatbelts for a chauffeur? To secure yourself and passengers for safety in case of a crash or sudden stop. Seatbelts are the most effective safety device in a collision. What about this next one? What should you do if your vehicle begins to skid? Steer in the direction of the skid and ease off the accelerator. This helps you regain control and allows the tires to regain traction. On to the next question. What is the purpose of checking your vehicle's brakes before starting a trip? To ensure they are in good working condition and can stop the vehicle safely. Brakes are arguably the most critical safety system. Moving forward, what is the law regarding opening vehicle doors on the side of traffic in Louisiana? Doors should not be opened until it is reasonably safe to do so without interfering with traffic. Always check for traffic before opening a door into a roadway. Let's consider the next one. What is the general rule for using turn signals when changing lanes in Louisiana? Signal well in advance to allow other drivers to react. Early signaling gives other drivers time to adjust to your intentions. And the next point, when driving in adverse weather conditions, rain, fog, etc., what should a chauffeur do? Reduce speed, increase following distance, and use appropriate lighting. Adjusting your driving to conditions is essential for safety. What's next? What is the maximum length for a single vehicle, excluding permitted extensions in Louisiana? 45 feet. This applies to single unit trucks and buses. Moving on to this. What should you do if you come across a yield sign? Slow down or stop if necessary and give the right of way to other vehicles and pedestrians. Yielding means giving way to others already in the flow of traffic. All right, let's see. What is the legal requirement for all occupants in a vehicle to wear seatbelts in Louisiana? All occupants in all seating positions must wear a seatbelt. Louisiana has a mandatory seatbelt law for everyone in the vehicle. That concludes our comprehensive study guide for the Louisiana Chauffeur's License Test. By mastering these regulations and safe driving practices, you'll be well prepared to operate safely and professionally. Good luck on your test.